to What's Cooking New Ulm. I'm Rebecca Fliszar, the dietitian with the Heart Speed Back Heart of New Ulm project, working to reduce and eventually eliminate heart attacks in the 56073 zip code. Well, tonight we have a great show for you once again, and we have one of our veteran chefs with us, Mimi Hendel. Thanks for coming, Mimi.
Thank you.
All right, so Mimi has a great warm soup for us tonight that we can put into place on these cold evenings. And we're going to use a little bit of some different ingredients, and we're going to talk about those as we go. Also, we're going to visit with Mimi just a little bit, as she'll be taking on a new position at the hospital, and most of you are going to want to know about this one. So, Mimi, let's talk first about your recipe. Why don't you tell us what you have for us tonight?
Well, I went on the internet under the Eating Well website, and I wanted to find a simple recipe that you can make when you got home from work. Okay. Now, this is a 20-minute recipe, and it's a chicken soup that has canned chicken broth and canned beans and a rotisserie chicken.
Great.
And the greatest part about this soup is that one serving is 172 calories.
Yes, very low.
Oh, great.
So now as we listen to those ingredients, you're going to think, well, if we're having canned beans, we're going to have some chicken broth. It might be a little bit higher in sodium. So what we've done is we've made sure we've rinsed our beans. We've drained and rinsed those to reduce that sodium intake. We have chosen a low sodium chicken broth, and we're going to watch the quantity on that and use a little bit of water to dilute that out. So even by making these small changes, we can be sure this is going to be heart healthy and meet those sodium guidelines. Remember, we're not looking for any more than 2,000 milligrams per day if we're watching our sodium intake. Even if we're not, that's a good guideline. High sodium can lead to high blood pressure and fluid retention, so keep an eye on that number. All right, Mimi, kind of interesting for us tonight. We're going to be using some leeks.
Leeks are great. I meant to look this up, but I think they're part of the garlic family.
They are part of the garlic
family. They look like
yeah.
onion, the onion family, and they have an onion flavor, but being part of the garlic family is kind of neat. This recipe calls for 2 leeks, and you basically just use the white part of the leek. So you remove the greens. Those you don't even want to use for soup stocks or anything. They're just garbage, so they get tossed.
All right.
Then to clean your leeks, you need to cut down the center of the leek, because the way they grow, they get dirt trapped in them as they grow. So these will need to be rinsed. But I didn't want to do it ahead of time because I wanted to show you how to cut them open.
Okay.
But anyway, I'll take a quick
go ahead and rinse those out.
And let's see.
Now remember, as we go through this as well, the cannellini beans are going to be very high in fiber. They're going to be high in protein, but they're going to be low in cholesterol and saturated fat. They are a great source of protein if you're following a vegetarian diet, or if you are restricting cholesterol or saturated fat in your diet. Anytime when we can use those beans or legumes, that's what we're looking for to increase that good cholesterol and bring down our bad. Our chicken, you're going to see, has its skin on, but we're going to make sure we get that taken off. It's going to be our highest source of saturated fat in that chicken, so make sure you're taking that off as well. All right, Mimi?
Yeah, we just want to chop up the leeks. And we're going to saute those in some olive oil.
Great. So this is how much? How much are we looking to use for this recipe?
It actually called for 2 leeks, and they all are pretty much the same size. I mean, you can find some really skinny ones, but these are very typical of the size of leek, and I'd say you're probably going to end up with about 2 cups of chopped leeks.
Okay.
We're supposed to, the recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of olive oil.
Now I can smell these leeks already. They do have that potent, almost onion smell, but they do have that garlic underlying because they do come from the garlic family. These are a great source of nutrients in our diet, and we do want to keep those in. I do even feel it in my eyes a little bit, so you're going to know that comes from that same family. So if you haven't tried leeks before, definitely start to incorporate those in. They can sometimes be intimidating in the grocery store, but you saw Mimi cut these up quickly and easily. She let you know what you're going to be doing with those tops, and easy enough to throw right into this recipe. So
they'll saute in that olive oil on a medium heat for about 3 minutes until they really get aromatic, and you can you smell them and they start to soften.
Okay.
Then we're going to chop up a few leaves of fresh sage, and that's a nice combination with chicken.
Yeah.
And then mix those in with the leeks. So we'll just give those a nice little rough chop here.
If you ever look at any of your rubs or some of your herb ingredients that go with chicken, you're always going to see sage as part of that. So that is a general combination. If you're looking at increasing your herbs and spices and reducing sodium, sage is almost always combined with chicken. We don't see it quite as much with other beef or pork products, but it is our staple when we're making chicken.
Then after that, maybe cook that for about 30 seconds, just until you can really smell it cooking. Then we're going to add 2 cups of chicken broth and 2 cups of water.
Again, if you are looking to reduce that overall sodium content, you can switch this out. You could go with plain water if you really wanted to cut it down, or you could do 1 cup of chicken broth with 3 cups of water. That's going to help balance that out as well. For full flavor, you are looking to make sure that you're getting the 2 and 2. That will add that extra chicken broth flavor to it. So keep an eye on that. You can make those adjustments when you're watching for sodium. This recipe is easily adjusted. This is what we would call a full flavor, and you can temper that down just a bit.
So you want to bring this this mixture to a boil.
Okay.
And then you're going to add your drained white beans.
Okay.
And I think the white beans are nice with this soup. It's kind of has an Italian flair to it, as opposed to using a kidney bean or a black bean.
Okay.
The white bean's very nice.
So while Mimi goes ahead and adds this all together and gets those sauteed up, we'll go ahead and check in with Holly for Fit in 5.
Well, it's that time of year again. It's time to start thinking about bringing our exercise routine indoors. Or perhaps you're somebody that just doesn't like to hit the gym. You'd rather work out at home. Having a good exercise video can be key to enjoyment, fun, and an effective workout in your own home. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how to choose an exercise video, because in case you haven't noticed, there are a ton out there. So how do you know what's a good video and maybe what's not the best? One of the first things to consider when you choose an exercise video is the space that you have to do your workout in. If you don't have a lot of space, you're probably not going to want to select a video that allows you to have to move around a lot in a big area. The second thing to consider is the type of workout you're looking for. Are you looking for a mind-body video like yoga or Pilates? Or are you looking for more cardio? Do you have a step that you can use at home or another piece of exercise equipment that you like to use? Once you've determined your space and the kind of workout that you want, then it's time to head into the store and select your video. I brought some videos with me today. I have 3 different kinds of videos. Now I would advise that you may want to start out with a mind-body video, but gradually build your video library so you incorporate all of the great activities that you need in a good exercise routine. So you want cardiovascular, strength, and flexibility. The videos I have with me today, I have Pilates, Bosu video, and a step video. These are 3 very different kinds of videos. So when we head into the store, we go to look for a video. What we want to look for first is it beginner, intermediate, or advanced? Now, if you haven't done Pilates before, a beginner video is probably going to be a great bet for you. But you can see I have a Pilates video here, and it says right on the video cover, intermediate mat workout, which means you basically just need a mat, and it's intermediate, so it's not going to quite be a beginner, but it's not going to be advanced either. I brought another Pilates video with me too, and this is a STOT Pilates video. STOT is a great organization that is certifying body for Pilates. But you can see, you'll look on the back and it'll say that you'd need just an exercise mat on the back. So that would maybe meet your space requirements. The STOT Pilates video has a level 2 on the top, so that tells us that it probably also is an intermediate video. Once you've decided beginner, intermediate, advanced, you want to look at the instructor. This is really important. I tend to advise shying away from videos that are taught solely by celebrities. If you have a celebrity with a personal trainer or some type of fitness professional, that's great. But I, just for safety reasons, would shy away from videos put out totally by celebrities. You're going to see that I have one here called Step Gone Wild, and this is by Rob Glick. And when I read the back of this, it's going to tell me that he is both ACE and AFIS certified. So that means that he is a certified group exercise instructor. So he knows the safety requirements basically needed to give you a safe and effective workout. And one thing about Rob's video, though, that I don't like is that it doesn't give you the fitness level that you need to participate in this video. I happen to know Rob. I've taken his workshops, and I really like his videos, but I also know his teaching style. If you don't know their teaching style and the video doesn't tell you if it's beginner, intermediate, or advanced, you may want to look for a different video at that point in time. You can also look for or talk to your friends. What kind of videos do they have? What videos do they like? What do they enjoy doing? Because they're another really great resource for picking an exercise video. Hopefully with these few tips on how to choose an exercise video, you can have a safe, fun, and effective indoor workout. For today's Fit in 5, I'm Holly. Have a healthy day.
Thanks, Holly. Make sure you're staying active and following our Fit in 5 principles. Keep busy through the winter months and look forward to summer. Okay, Mimi, why don't you tell us what you've done during our break and then catch us up to what we're going to be doing next.
We heated the soup for about 5 minutes just to kind of soften the vegetables and combine some of the flavors. And boy, it has a nice aroma.
It does.
Chicken and leeks and sage. I mean, not chicken, but the leeks, sage, and the white bean.
Right.
Okay, now we're going to take our rotisserie chicken, and that's what's so great about this recipe, is that you can stop at the store, pick up one of these, or you could have, a lot of people make 2 or 3 meals out of these chickens.
Exactly.
And I split the chicken in half, so I've got half a chicken to work with here.
Okay. And remember, as I mentioned, you want to first take off that skin. We want to make sure we're saving those that extra saturated fat and those calories.
Remove that skin.
And it does peel off fairly easily there. So Mimi, while you're working on this, why don't you tell us a little bit about your change and where people can start to find some of your great recipes?
Yeah, I am lucky enough to now be the new coffee shop manager at the hospital, and it's coffee shop, gift shop. And so I'll be working to work on the menu and as well as purchase gifts for sale in the shop. I'm very excited, and the employees that are there now are equally excited to get started with me.
Great. So what kind of new recipes do you have in mind for the coffee shop, or what should we start looking for changes?
Well, changes are going to come slowly because I don't want to scare anyone off.
Okay.
But we'll be doing some hot sandwiches and cold sandwiches. What I want to emphasize is a grab-and-go section where people can stop in and pick up pre-made sandwiches, fruit salads, desserts, and then scoot out of the coffee shop quickly, get back to work or back to their desk or get outside.
Yeah, exactly. Remember, the new the Medical Center Coffee Shop is open to the public. It has great food. It's easily accessible, and it's a great place to socialize. So if you've enjoyed Mimi's recipes in other locations in the Medical Center cafeteria or out and about, be sure to stop in the coffee shop, and I'm sure Mimi will put in some of her own personal flair there and make it taste great. So
we're going to make a few changes, some positive changes, and get some new food in there.
Great. Heart healthy, of course.
Oh, of course. But you have to have some cookies.
Yes.
Some good cookies.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, well, I've cleaned this baby pretty good. And looks like just bones there. Then I'm just going to give it a nice rough chop. I want to keep it in kind of a natural state.
Okay. So this is about 2 cups, you think?
This is about 2 cups.
All right. Again, if you want to make this a little bit more of a thick stew, you can add more of your chicken. If you like to use that rotisserie for more than 1 meal, go ahead and just go with the 2 cups. Save the rest of it or the stock to make your own chicken noodle soup if you want to boil down your own stock. It's something that you can do with the carcass as well.
Or if you have just some leftover vegetables at home, you want to toss those in, or shred up some spinach or kale to add to your soup for color.
Yeah, or carrots would go in here nicely.
Nice.
Onions, anything that you want to throw in there would be great. So, the problem with soup is people tend to think that it's going to take a long time. It's going to be, kind of cumbersome to get that done. But this is turning out great.
This needs about 3 more minutes on the stove, and it's good to go.
Wow, easy enough.
Yeah,
we have really great color with this. Remember, when we're looking at these dark green leafies, these are going to be, again, with those leeks, they're going to be a little bit higher in that vitamin K. We're going to find some of the nutrients that we would find in garlic because the leeks are part of that family. And an excellent meal. It's going to be high protein, no saturated fat, no cholesterol. Just great for your family to be eating here in the winter. So very, very nice.
You could have a nice salad on the side and then some crusty bread to go with this.
Perfect.
And you've got a great meal.
Great meal. So nice and easy. Didn't take us more than about 10 to 15 minutes to put this together. So great soup. I'm ready to eat. Mimi, best of luck. We'll look for you in the coffee shop.
Very excited.
That's it for this week's episode of What's Cooking, you all. We'll see you next week.